What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to start our very next set of lessons, which is how to influence and win people to your way of thinking. Today we're going to talk about number one, which is how to get the best of an argument. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to follow me, you can follow my social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and as always, find me on the website www.justonemoreday.info. But let's just jump into this. This is a shorter lesson, so we're just going to get right through it. So how to get the best of an argument. And I'm kind of going to start off here by talking about my ethics class. I took that last semester, well, 2 semesters ago technically, because I'm in summer break now. So I took that 2 semesters ago, and if there's one thing I learned from an ethics class, is that it was more of a debate class, and that people really like to argue with each other, and that was basically the whole class. Everyone was just kind of yelling at each other and arguing, and I was kind of just sitting there, you know, just staying quiet. And that's another thing I really learned from that class, is that everyone has an opinion, and it's very rare if people have the same opinion. Usually everyone had a different opinion, and if you had an opinion and you shared it, someone else would butt right in and kind of tell you that you're wrong and that this is their opinion and why theirs is right. So Dale Carnegie talks in this chapter that you should always try to avoid an argument whenever and wherever you can. Arguments don't solve anything. And I'm sure everyone has been in an argument, they're uncomfortable, and more often than not, they just end with each person more firmly convinced that their idea in the first place was more right than the other person. And you really can't win an argument. If you lose the argument, you lose the argument. And if you win the argument, you still lose the argument. But why is that? And if you really do truly think that you win an argument and you counter every other person's point and you really shut them down, and you think that you win, you might end up really feeling good, but the other person will feel inferior and with a sense of hurt pride. And that was a quote that came right from the book. It says, "A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still." And in today's world, it's basically almost impossible to avoid arguments with other people. And Carnegie includes this great little section on how to make sure a disagreement doesn't turn into an argument. And it's an article found in bits and pieces, and there's 9 little steps. So step number 1 is to welcome the disagreement. Step number 2 is to distrust your first instinctive impressions and don't get too defensive. Step 3 is always control your temper. Step 4 is listen before you speak. Step 5 is you need to look for areas of agreement. Don't always try to find things in which you disagree in. Step 6 is to be honest with both yourself and with the other party. Number 7 is think over your opponent's ideas and study them carefully. Really learn what your other opponent is trying to say. Step 8 is you need to thank your opponent for their interest. They're having a discussion with you and they want to discuss your opinions, and they also want to share their own. And number 9 is you need to postpone action to give time to think through the problem. So don't come up with a conclusion right away. Maybe step aside or say, hey, we'll talk about this tomorrow, or, you know, I thought over your ideas and I'm going to give it some time and think about it. And this really hits with social media like Facebook. I know sometimes I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed and I'll see someone post something that I might not necessarily agree with, and sometimes people do comment and it just turns into a big fight in the comment section. So I always say, you know, it's not going to help anything if I comment this. You know, I might feel good about myself, but everyone's just going to argue and fight. So I always try to not engage in that kind of talk, because it doesn't really solve anything. So remember what Dale Carnegie says, that the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it all the time. So if you guys enjoyed the video, thank you guys so much again for watching. As always, if you want to find me, you can follow me on all my social media accounts. All that is in the description as well. If you want to read the article that this is kind of discussed on, if you kind of want to get a little bit more of the writing, that'll be in the description. That'll be at the very top of the description. But as always, you guys' time means the world to me, so I won't keep you guys any longer. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next Tuesday, and have a great rest of your week.